Good morning, class 8th. I'm Sonali, your chemistry teacher for the session. We have been discussing the chapter 2nd, that is physical and chemical changes. So we have discussed this chapter initial points in our first video. So just we can take a quick revision here. We discussed about how the changes are classified. We discussed about the different kinds of classifications of changes. For example, reversible and irreversible changes, their examples. Then periodic and non-periodic changes. Then we discussed about desirable and undesirable changes in the example. Then we came to the topic of physical and chemical changes in our first video. We discussed completely about the physical changes. Let's take a quick revision. A physical change is a change in which no new substance is formed and which can be reversed by reversing the conditions. So that is a physical change. We discussed about its examples in our first video, how they are known as a physical change. Okay, so in today's video we are going to discuss about the chemical changes. Our next topic for this chapter is chemical changes, which is very important. So let's discuss about the chemical changes. What are chemical changes? A change in which no new substances are formed and which cannot be reversed by reversing the conditions is called a chemical change. Okay, so if in a change no new substances are formed and which cannot be reversed by reversing the conditions, that is known as chemical change. These 2 points you have to remember for chemical changes. New substances are formed and it cannot be reversed by reversing the conditions. So we can explain it in detail by the following examples, like we did in physical changes. The first one is burning. So you must have noticed, when lighted, if you are lighting a combustible substance, for example hydrogen, coal, wood, paper, kerosene, diesel, petrol, LPG, CNG, spirit, okay, then it burns in air. Okay, so what is burning? It is a fast reaction between the combustible substance and the oxygen of the air. If you are burning a combustible substance, so it is a fast reaction between the combustible substance and the oxygen of the air. Okay, now when kindled, hydrogen burns in air. It forms new substance, water, and when it is cooled, water does not give back hydrogen. So the change is irreversible. Okay, what is given in your book? If you are burning hydrogen with air, so a new substance will form. Okay, H2 plus O2 gives H2O, water. But if you are cooling the water, will you get back the hydrogen? No. So it is irreversible. This change cannot be reversed by reversing the conditions. So burning of hydrogen is a chemical change. Okay, the next example of burning is coal. Now coal, it contains mainly of carbon. Now if you will burn the carbon, what will happen? The carbon of the coal will combine with the oxygen of the air and it will form a new substance, that is carbon dioxide. Like C plus O2 gives CO2. Carbon dioxide is a gas and it is liberated into the air. Now if you will cool it down, will carbon dioxide give back carbon and oxygen? No, that it will not give back carbon and oxygen. So what is happening? The change is irreversible. So burning of coal is also a chemical change, since the change cannot be reversed. Now the another example in burning is wood or paper. Now if you are burning wood or paper, so it will combine with the oxygen of the air, and what new substance will it form? Carbon dioxide and water vapor. Okay, if you are burning wood or paper in air, it will combine with the oxygen of the air and it will form a new substance, that is carbon dioxide and water vapor. But if you will cool back the wood or water, this carbon dioxide or water vapor, will it give back the wood or paper? No. So burning of wood or paper is also a chemical change, since the change cannot be reversed. It is irreversible. Okay, now the next example in burning is kerosene, diesel, petrol, LPG, CNG. You have to memorize the full forms of LPG and CNG. LPG is your liquefied petroleum gas and CNG is compressed natural gas. So these all things are hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons means they are just made up of carbon and hydrogen only. Okay. if you light these hydrocarbons, they burn in air to form a new substance. And what new substances they form? Carbon dioxide and water vapor. Okay, and if you will reverse the conditions, will they reverse back? No, the change cannot be reversed. So the changes are irreversible. So burning of fuels is also a chemical change. Understood? So one main example of chemical changes is burning, and the last example of burning is ethanol. Ethanol, that is ethyl alcohol, which is commonly known as alcohol. You all must have listened the name. So it is a compound containing 3 elements: carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, now it is a liquid that catches fire when near a flame and burns to give carbon dioxide and water vapor. If you will take this liquid near fire, okay, what it will do, from the flame it will catch fire and it will give the products carbon dioxide and water vapor. Okay, but they are forming new substances and this change cannot be reversed. You can't get back the alcohol again. So this is also a chemical change. So in chemical changes, the first example of the chemical change is burning, and in burning we studied about hydrogen, burning of hydrogen, burning of coal, burning of wood and paper, burning of kerosene, CNG, LPG, the hydrocarbons, and burning of ethanol, that is commonly known as alcohol. So burning is a chemical change because the change cannot be reversed, it is irreversible, and new substances are formed in these changes. Next example of a chemical change is rusting. So what happens in rusting? You must have noticed when the iron comes in contact with moist air, what happens? A reddish brown substance, a solid is formed on it. That is the rust. Okay, that is the rust, and the process is known as rusting. The reddish brown solid you can see on the iron when it is comes in contact with the moist air, that is known as rust, and the process is known as rusting. So what happened? Can this rust can be formed back to the iron? No, if you reverse the condition, you cannot get back the iron. So that this change is irreversible, and thus rusting is also a chemical change. Okay, the next example in your chemical change is cooking of food. Okay, now tell me, when your mother cooks the vegetables, okay, she's adding the carrots, the capsicum, she's cooking Maggi for you. Okay, can you get back the capsicum, onion, Maggi as raw materials back? No, their taste changes. They become of different taste and new substances are formed. Okay, so cooking of food is also a chemical change because it cannot be reversed. See what is written here. The taste of vegetables and pulses change on being cooked because new substances are formed in the process. Okay, so when you are cooking the vegetables, when you are cooking the pulses, the taste of that will change and new substances are formed from it. Also, we cannot obtain green vegetables from a vegetable curry or grains from the cooked pulses. अब हमें pulses से we cannot get back the grains, and from vegetable curry also we cannot get back the vegetables. So cooking of the food is also a chemical change. Okay, because the change is irreversible and new substances are formed. Okay. Now next one is your curdling of milk. Okay, you must have noticed in your home. Okay, from milk curd is made. Okay, so once milk is curdled, a new substance is formed. From milk, curd is formed. Can you get back the milk back from the curd? No. And milk cannot be obtained back from the curd. That is, the change is irreversible. So curdling of milk is also a chemical change because a new substance, curd, is being formed and the milk cannot be obtained from the curd. Okay. The next example of your chemical change is the charring of sugar. What is charring of sugar? See, sugar belongs to a class of compounds called as carbohydrates. Okay, sugar is from the group, from the class of compounds that is carbohydrates. Now carbohydrates, what are the elements contained in carbohydrate? That is carbon and the elements of water. A carbohydrate contains carbon and the elements of water. So now when you heat the sugar, water gets loosened. Okay, water molecules will get loose and vaporize. It will get vaporized and the black residue of carbon is left behind. Okay, all the water molecules, they will get loose first and then they will vaporize. Okay, now what is left? The black residue of carbon is left. Now you have learned that this change is also irreversible. You cannot get back the sugar from that black charred carbon. No. Okay, so this is also a chemical change. The charring of sugar means when you burn a sugar, the water molecules get vaporized and the black carbon is left behind. That is known as charring of sugar, and it is a irreversible change and a new substance is being formed, so it is a chemical change. Okay, next one is your digestion. So digestion, what happens when you eat food? If it is digested, can you get the food back? Can you get those raw vegetables back? No. So food on being digested inside our body is changed into several different things. Some of are taken up, some are expelled by the body. Okay, so these changes cannot be reversed either. Okay, so new substances are also formed. Okay, we are with the help of enzymes, they are getting converted into fats, they are getting converted into proteins. Okay, so what is happening? New substances are being formed and this change cannot be reversed. This is irreversible. So this digestion is also a chemical change. Now next comes the fermentation. So what is fermentation? It is a process which is employed for preparing alcohol from fruits containing sugar. The fruits that contains sugar, it is fermented. Fermented means सड़ाया जाता है. Okay, to produce alcohol from it, to prepare alcohol from it, that is known as fermentation. So what happens? What happens in the fermentation? In the presence of some enzymes, a sugar solution changes into alcohol, liberating carbon dioxide. That sugar solution in the fruit, it changes into alcohol, and what it leaves behind? It leaves behind the carbon dioxide. As a result, a froth is formed and the liquid appears as if it were boiling. So एक froth develop हो जाता है. Froth means झाग. Okay, so a froth is developed and the liquid appears as if it were boiling. So this process is known as fermentation. So fermentation is derived from the Latin word. That Latin word is fervere, and fervere means to boil because the liquid is appearing to boil. So fervere means to boil. It is also an irreversible process. You cannot get back the fruit from the alcohol. Okay, and a new substance is being formed, that is the alcohol. So it is also a chemical change. Understood? Now the next one is your photosynthesis. Photosynthesis, beta, you are studying it from since class 2nd or 3rd. Okay, so photosynthesis, what happens in photosynthesis? It is a process by which green plants prepare their food. Okay, so green plants prepare their food or the glucose, and what elements, what raw materials they need for it? Carbon dioxide and water. Then the plants should have chlorophyll, and it happens in daylight, that is sunlight. Okay, so what is the reaction for photosynthesis? Carbon dioxide plus water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, they gives glucose and oxygen. So what is happening in the process? New substances are being formed, that is glucose and oxygen. And can you reverse it back? Can you get can you change glucose back into the carbon dioxide in water? No. So the change is irreversible. Thus photosynthesis is also a chemical change. Now the next one is respiration, the last example of chemical change. So in respiration, what happens? There is a carbohydrate in our body, that is glucose. ठीक है, it is formed by living beings, combine with oxygen of the air, forming new substance, carbon dioxide and water. The glucose in our body, it combines with the oxygen of the air. When we breathe in oxygen, it combines with the oxygen and it forms waste products in our body, that is carbon dioxide and water. Now energy is also released in the process, and you cannot get back the oxygen or the glucose, so the change is irreversible. Thus respiration is also a chemical change. So you can look to the reaction of respiration, it is just the opposite of photosynthesis. So glucose plus oxygen, okay, by the process of respiration, it turns into carbon dioxide plus water plus energy. Okay, so it gives the 3 byproducts, carbon dioxide, water and energy, which are irreversible. You cannot get back the glucose back. So respiration is also a chemical change. So these all were the examples of your chemical change in which new substances were being formed and the process was irreversible. That was your burning. Okay, next one is your rusting. Third one is cooking of food. Fourth one is curdling of milk. Fifth one is charring of sugar. Sixth one is digestion. Seventh, fermentation. Next is your photosynthesis, and last one is your respiration. So these all are the examples of your chemical changes in which new substances are being formed and the changes are irreversible. Keep in mind all these chemical changes. Now, after discussing about the chemical changes and the physical changes, let's come to our next topic, that is conservation of mass in a chemical change. So there is a law, there is conservation of mass when the chemical change is taking place. So what happens? The mass of the individual substances undergoing a chemical change is altered, but the total mass of the reactant is always same as that of the products. Okay, the mass of the individual substances, they will change, they will alter. Okay, but if you are looking at the total mass of the reactants, it will always be same as the total mass of the products. For example, we can take an example. If carbon is burnt in air, means it has the mass of carbon plus mass of oxygen in air. Now the mass of carbon is reduced and finally the carbon vanishes. In fact, all the carbon gets converted into carbon dioxide. But mass of carbon used plus the mass of the oxygen taken up from air is the same as that of the carbon dioxide formed. What were the reactants in these reaction? Carbon and oxygen. So if you will take the total mass of the carbon and the oxygen, the product formed in the reaction, that is carbon dioxide. Okay, the mass of the carbon dioxide will be equal to the total mass of the carbon plus oxygen. Understood? This is your conservation of mass. Okay, now the next example in this conservation of mass is mass of an iron nail. So what happens in the mass of iron nail? If it rusts, the mass of the iron nail increases. Okay, but the mass of the original nail plus that of the oxygen and moisture taken up from the air is same as that of the rusted nail. If you will weight the iron nail plus how much oxygen is being taken from the air, if you add the sum up, okay, of the two things and then you weigh the rusted nail, the masses will be same. So this is conservation of mass, and a chemical change always obeys the law of conservation of mass. For today is the difference between physical and chemical change. So these 4 points you have to remember. The physical change is temporary. Okay, it is just for a period of time, short period of time, but a chemical change is permanent. It will always be permanent because you cannot reverse back the reaction. Physical change is reversible, it can be reversed, but a chemical change is irreversible. The changes cannot be reversed. Then in physical changes we have studied no new substances are formed, but in chemical changes new substances are formed. In physical changes, after a physical change, the mass of the substance remains. The mass of the substances in the physical change, it remains unaltered, it remains same, but the mass of the individual substances undergoing a chemical change is altered. Okay, it is changed. So these were the 4 points of physical and chemical changes. So you have to keep in mind all these points, the examples we have discussed for physical change and chemical change. This was all for today's video. Keep on revising till I upload the next video. Thank you.